Wow, two classic Bill videos so close to each other? What is this? Christmas dinner? No, it is not. It was Valentine's Day yesterday. Um, if you observe, so if you do, happy Valentine's Day. Here's my tired review of a movie not enough people are talking about. I just saw it last night. It's called Lisa Frankenstein. This movie was so fun, so funny, and for some reason it has like a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I don't even really prefer Rotten Tomatoes anyways. I usually look at Metacritic, but even then, like, critic scores are lukewarm on this movie. And I have genuinely just, I really don't understand why. I thought it was great. When I first started doing tired reviews, at first I thought it was like, I'm going to try and do like the big releases right now. You know, I did Venom 2. I did Black Widow. And I did those because I thought like, oh, if I do like the biggest releases, that'll translate to views. And looking back, I think that was a silly mindset to have because I think multiple times in the Venom review, I say, I don't really have much to say about this, which is like, why make a review if that's the case? But lately, I've been trying to more so just do tired reviews of movies that I feel compelled to talk about. You know, I mean, I feel like that's film criticism 101, but I see a lot of movies. If you follow my Letterboxd, you can see all the movies I watch, and a lot of the times I only have like 2 or 3 sentences to say on the matter. Like I watched, what was it, the other night? I was really bored, so I watched that rom-com Anyone But You. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna write a fucking dissertation on that thing. Like, it was fine. I'm not gonna scramble from my microphone and start recording a review for Anyone But You. Like, it's this largely inoffensive, passable rom-com, and that's about all I have to say on the matter. But Lisa Frankenstein, I was so, I guess, floored by how much I enjoyed it, contrasted with how little anyone is talking about it. I feel compelled to actually say, hey, this movie is good and you should check it out. So it's about this teen girl in the 80s named Lisa, and she's bullied at school and she's very introverted and she has some trauma she's working through. It's the no one likes me and I don't fit in kind of teenager. One night she makes a wish upon a gravestone and lightning strikes, and the young man buried there comes back to life as this zombie kind of Frankenstein-esque creature, and that's where you get the title of the movie from. And it's this like pastiche send up love letter kind of thing of a bunch of different 80s movies and tropes and genres. Like, there's a little bit of the 80s slasher movie in there. There's Heathers. There's Little Shop of Horrors. If you know me, you know Little Shop of Horrors is like one of my all-time favorites. So there's like a specific scene where I personally felt it was doing a very on the nose kind of homage to Little Shop of Horrors that I really loved, and like it clicked in my head and I was like, oh, I'm gonna really like this movie. It's all very tongue-in-cheek, it's very campy, it's very self-aware, but most of all, it's just unabashedly very fun and over the top and silly. We're just in such a fucking movie dead zone right now. Again, I go to the movies a lot. I have I have like a subscription service to the theater chain that's closest to me. So I try to go as often as I can, but lately I would just open up the app and I would stare at the movies that are available and just think, I don't want to see any of these. And Lisa Frankenstein was getting, lukewarm reviews. So I was like, do I want to go tonight and see that? And I was like, I liked the trailer. I should, go form my own opinion. I'm going to go see it. And I loved it. It was just so fun. There were some scenes where I was just like cackling in the theater to myself, trying not to be obnoxious. I try to stifle my laughter a little bit so I'm not just like, but I was laughing out loud in the theater, multiple scenes. Catherine Newton is so good. I mean, I already liked her in a lot of things that I've seen her in, but she is so fun and just like she understood the assignment. She knows exactly what movie she's in and she crushes it. Cole Sprouse, kind of a weird dude in real life, but also very funny. He has, I think, one line of dialogue because the whole movie he's kind of just like, oh, oh, that's just my cat back there. He's making some noises. I thought it was Cole Sprouse. Cole Sprouse had some good physical comedy there. Carla Gugino. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I've just been saying Carla Gugino my whole life, ever since I saw her in the hit movie Spy Kids. But she doesn't have a gigantic role in this movie, but she's also very funny, just kind of hamming it up to a degree that I didn't know she was really capable of. I've always kind of just seen her in like these very I don't want to call Spy Kids subdued, but like her roles in those movies aren't exactly like the most expressive characters ever. But she is like this stereotypical like 80s mom trope in the movie, and very funny. If you've seen Donnie Darko, she reminds me of like the dance mom who's in that movie. Very, very similar roles. Just the whole cast like understands what kind of movie they're making, and it seems like everyone had a lot of fun making it. This movie was directed by Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter. I believe this is her first movie in the director's chair. I thought this was a really strong first entry in her career. So I'm excited to see what else she does. If she is already on her first go around, willing to be this loose and fun with things, I'm excited to see what else she does. And just on the subject of Zelda Williams, and I was just really impressed with her as a first time director in, I guess, her ambitiousness with the material. There are a couple like animated sequences. The opening credits are animated in this kind of shadow boxy kind of I hesitate to say Tim Burton-esque just because like anything with a semi-gothic style is just labeled as Tim Burton-esque, but it was Tim Burton-esque. There's this one sequence, there's like a dream sequence that Lisa has that's like in black and white, and it's like this send up of silent films where like she's dressed as the bride of Frankenstein, and her room is transformed into like this expressionistic kind of two-dimensional cardboard kind of movie set. It's just really cool. There's a lot of unmotivated like neon lighting throughout. Like they're in a graveyard and there's this bright red light coming from off screen. I don't know. I just think that's really cool when especially a first time director embraces stylism so fearlessly. And I think it really pays off. I really think it helps set the tone for the movie. I think the script benefits from a director who's not afraid to get a little fun, a little out there with it. So I just thought that was really cool that Zelda Williams, as her first project, just kind of like said, fuck it, let's do it. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to make something fun. I appreciated that. It was written by Academy Award winning writer Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno and Jennifer's Body. Apparently this movie takes place in the same universe as Jennifer's Body. That I didn't see any, like overt call outs to that. Maybe there's some Easter eggs that I missed, but they're not like establishing a cinematic universe or anything. I think that was just a fun thing that Diablo Cody just said one time. So yeah, the dialogue is very very quippy, very self-aware. Again, it's like a pastiche of like 80s teen movies. So the dialogue is kind of cheesy on purpose, I guess. I love this kind of movie. I love movies that are just kind of purposefully very over the top and campy, and self-aware in that regard. I guess critics aren't. I guess that's why the film had kind of a lukewarm reception. But I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know. I just see people online attaching the label of camp to things that aren't campy, and then as soon as something like this comes around that is very campy and over the top, they just ignore it entirely. And I get it's February, it's like the designated dead zone for movies right now, but it just sucks that you have this movie directed by a woman, written by a woman, starring a woman, very fun, very funny, and it just kind of like drops with a heavy thud in the box office. That sucks because this movie deserves a lot more attention, and that's why I wanted to make this video, and just tell people to go out and see it. If you like 80s movies, if you like kind of like horror comedies, it's not a horror film. It's a lot more comedy than it is horror. Yeah, you'd really be pushing it by calling this a horror movie, but it uses horror tropes, I guess. So I guess you could technically call it a horror comedy, but whatever. But yeah, if you like those kinds of cheesy 80s movies, or like the cult classics that I mentioned earlier, like Little Shop of Horrors, like Heathers, um, maybe even a little bit of Rocky Horror. I would say Rocky Horror is a bit more audacious than this movie is, but it's that vein of kind of like over the top, self aware, campy, fun fest kind of movie. If you're watching this and it's still in theaters, go see it. If you're watching this someday in the future and it's on streaming somewhere, or just like on video on demand for like rent or something, rent it. But absolutely go and support it because it deserves support, and it deserves a lot more recognition than it's getting right now, I think. So yeah, check it out. This has been the Classic Bill YouTube channel. Tired Reviews. I'm Bill. Thanks. Thanks.
And it's the Five Nights at Freddy's boss.